What's up everyone? Today we're going to be attempting to play some mono rock. I stress attempting because rock is typically seen as a pretty awful type just because there's massive amount of weaknesses. How present water and fighting currently are in the meta, it has practically no answers to grass teams, and still it struggles with two. So grass isn't a great type by any stretch of the imagination, but the other three I listed there are pretty good and quite common on the ladder. So we'll see if I can win any games today. It's possible I won't, but we're going to jump into the team anyway. I've had success with this rock team in the past, so hopefully I will find some use for it. So first up we have Lycanroc Dusk. This was the only, well, Lycanroc in general was the only rock Pokemon that came back in the Isle of Armor DLC, but it definitely was helped to rock type because it lacked the kind of speed control or the priority, and I'm actually tempted to make this Adamant just to score some more KOs. I have speed control and Ttar, as we'll see in a minute. So I'm going to try Adamant and see how this goes because Lycanroc is basically just tough close Accelerock dog. Like, that's all it does. For me, it kind of comes into the late game and clicks Accelerock because it's boosted by Stab and Tough Claws, which is nice. And then with Choice Band Adamant, it's pretty hard. So next up we have Terrakion. Terrakion is my speed control. Terrakion came in during the Pokemon Home expansion, or when some of the new Pokemon came back from Pokemon Home. So pre-Terrakion Rock was, I actually think, completely unusable. It had no speed control. I think the fastest Pokemon was like 95 base, which is terrible. So we Lycanroc at 108, which makes a significant difference. It is my Scarfer. It has Justified just because I can't have anything else, but it's also nice enough if you swap into a Dark move. We get the +1 attack like any Nox. We lose our Choice Scarf, but suddenly it becomes a lot scarier. We have Close Combat just to kind of break through Steel types, which can give me trouble, and it's just generally very strong stab and a good late game sweep. Stone Edge, again, just nice stab to have, and my team actually does kind of lack rock coverage in general, so it's nice to have that. Iron Head would be mainly for like fairies and, yeah, pretty much just fairies is what we'll use Iron Head for because we don't want to use Close Combat, and Stone Edge is slightly unreliable with 8% accuracy. And finally we have Earthquake, again just good stab, hits things like Aegislash on the swap on a Steel team if they think like they predict the Close Combat like Earthquake. So just pretty nice coverage there. Hits poison types as well like Toxapex. Next up we have Specs Tyranitar. So you might be thinking, why are you using Specs Tyranitar? That's a strange one. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to actually go to a blank team here and show you. We'll go to look up rock types and look up special attack. Tyranitar is actually paired with the highest special attack of rock types currently in the game, and Lidotone is just not very good. It got Meteor Beam, which is a really cool move, but its bulk is just inferior. A tiny bit faster, which I'm not going to take into consideration, considering Tyranitar also sets up Sandstream, which chip damages the opponent, and more importantly, I suppose, gives all rock types a 1.5 times special defense boost. That's really important. So here he is just going to be my special wall breaker. You have the Bolt Beam coverage, Dark Pulse because it's a really strong stab on hits neutrally. Things like Toxapex. Say if I'm in a poison team, I'm not sure to click Thunderbolt. Sorry, let me reconnect there. Sorry about that. So say we want to hit Toxapex and they have an Amoonguss on the team, we can't click Thunderbolt in case they go into Amoonguss if we want to hit the Pex. So we can click Dark Pulse and it does a hefty chunk of damage. I think it 2 kills both of them, which is pretty good considering its special attack is only somewhat mediocre. And then Fire Blast to take care of things like Pharaoh or Corviknight and things like that. Just general steel teams. So next up we have Shuckle. It's a lead Shuckle with Encore to trap things into like sitting up in my face. Maybe it wants to Dragon Dance or Quiver Dance in my face, for example. You can Encore that. And then when they hit you, you'll live thanks to Sturdy and they'll be sent out due to red card. In the meantime, I can typically Toxic and set up some hazards with Stealth Rock and Sticky Web, which is pretty nice. Next up we have Rhyperior. Hopefully I can get some sweeps with Rhyperior. It used to be a weakness policy, but I just found it died too easily. So I'm trying a bulky max defense Wall Breaker with Swords Dance, Earthquake, and Smackdown. So the reason I'm using Smackdown, despite being quite weak, is it hits things like Corviknight down. For example, if my other Corviknight answers are dead, I can smack it down and suddenly it loses its flying typing and then it immediately fears Earthquakes. So I did run Rock Polish weakness policy before, and due to solid rock it can live like fighting attacks generally, but it still dies kind of easily to like water or grass due to its 4x weakness. So that's pretty annoying. This guy is physically defensive, like really physically defensive, and leftovers can usually let him sit in front of some physical threats and kind of set up in their face. It can also Swords Dance and Toxapex's face, but in rain I think it does die to Earth to Scald. In sand it won't. And finally we have Colossus. Colossus was a good addition for rock teams because it needed a semi-decent fire type. It had Macargo, but Macargo was just bad, unfortunately. So I'm also running max defense, max HP, so it's a physically defensive Colossus. It's mainly team support. Body Press can do a lot of damage, and Flamethrower again for kind of steel teams. For things like Ferrothor and Corviknight, and Ttar Shot actually makes them further weak to those, as well as decreasing their speed, which lets other threats outspeed their team. And finally we have Rapid Spin just to remove hazards. So kind of a strange team. It has found success in the past, but I could have just been quite lucky. I managed to climb to around 1600 with Rock, which is probably my highest ELO with Rock. So in case, just going to show you a cool tech here that I might end up using instead. I've used this in my previous Rock team before Lycanroc came back. It's a counter heavy duty boot sturdy crustal. So what this does is, I'll ignore EVs for now, simply it comes in, ignores spikes, ignores some tree hazards and stuff, and so it's on max HP thanks to sturdy, and then it was basically designed as the only counter to Vicious Rend I could possibly find on a rock team. So they click Vicious Rend in its face, it survives on 1 HP, counters back and gets the 1-hit KO. It generally dies then, but it's just kind of a nice counter to like Vicious Rend or other physical water types. So unfortunately it doesn't get Mirror Coat or Metal Burst, so it can't do the same for special attackers. I think Aggron, who is not in this generation, gets Metal Bursts, so that'll be kind of cool for Rock to come back with heavy duty boots sturdy. You can just click Metal Burst and basically claim a KO on any threat, any specs or like bandit threat or something that might be giving your team hassle. We'll ignore them for now because we're not using them, just wanted to show you what you could do if you're struggling a lot with like things like Vicious Rend or other very powerful physical attackers. So I'm going to pause till we find the game and I'll be right back. So we found our first game and it is against Mono Dark. I think that's fun. So right off the bat I can see Urshifu is obviously going to be a huge issue to my team, but Terrakion loves like killing most of them. Mandibuzz will also be an issue as it can wall out my close combats, but it won't take rock attacks too well. Even like Incineroar and Weavile, both weak to rock as well, so I definitely think it's possible to win this game. I also have Megahorn, which is originally for grass types, but it can be nice against dark types too. So I'm actually going to open up Rhyperior and see how they open. They open Grimmsnarl, which I don't think can do too much to me. It can probably... So it taunts me. It might be a bulk up set, which can be an issue, but I'm going to Mega Horn here. Actually, I'm going to Earthquake Stronger, as they do set up Reflect. So I'm going to do one more Earthquake, expecting them to get their light screen up here. I don't think they'll swap into... they swap straight into Hydreigon, unfortunately, so that's annoying. I would have clicked the Mega Horn on the prediction there, but I didn't get it, so I'm going to Mega Horn now, as it Dragon Pulses me and does a ton of damage. So that looks to be specs, as it's actually leftovers, so that's just a lot stronger than I anticipated. Not to worry, as Tyranitar should be able to live a hit, and it won't resist because it doesn't have a light screen up. Now I can't really click Dark Pulse because it's not very effective, so I'm going to click Ice Beam. Unless they swap into one of these, they won't like it, as he takes an Urshifu, which takes a ton of damage and gets chipped from the Sandstorm. I expect a close combat here, and I honestly think my sack is Colossus. I might get the burn, which would be really nice, as I actually survived to being physically defensive, and I get the burn from Flame Body, so really good turn there. And I will actually survive another hit, so I can just body press something coming in. Colossus put in work in this game because that was one of the biggest threats to my team. Once Mandibuzz is taken care of as well. So just in case this is a sub Nasty Plot set, as it is sub, I'm going to body press to break the sub. Just going to completely deny this thing sub here. So they get the KO, which is okay with me. Lycanroc does get outsped, but Terrakion doesn't. And at this point I can just click Stone Edge. Nothing likes taking Stone Edge, so I should get a KO here, assuming it doesn't miss. Nice, so I take Hydreigon. As Grimmsnarl comes back out. Just in case this is T-Wave, I'm going back into Tyranitar, as the Dark will be immune to it. As I go for a Reflect, so I expect a Light Screen to come out next. So I'm going to Ice Beam. Does a bit of chip damage, and the Sand certainly helps. So I expect Incineroar or Weavile to come out now, both of which Rhyperior shouldn't have too much of an issue with. So Incineroar comes out and gets the Intimidate, which can be annoying. But I should live a hit, and I'm going to smack down what might be Mandibuzz coming in on the Earthquake. As they go for the knockoff. That's okay, any chip I can get off this, thanks to my Sand, and just general chip, is quite good. So this absolute beast living even at close combat, and they take a ton of damage. So the U-turn out, which gives me a decent bit of momentum, as the U-turn on the KO as Weavile comes out. So I don't think there's anything they can do to immediately threaten Terrakion, but I feel like I'm slightly worried if I take in Terrakion and click close combat, they just go into Mandibuzz. So I'm going to go and Shuckle and Toxic something here. Hopefully my red card forces out Mandibuzz. It would be nice to have that Toxic, as they Sword Dance in my face. That's okay, because once they hit me, they're going to get red card out, and I'm going to throw some Stealth Rocks down just to get some. Okay, so I don't get the red card, so I should have encored there in the first turn, but that's okay because this thing is on a timer now, thanks to Toxic and Life Orb. So if I take in Lycanroc here, I can click a Celorock. I don't think I will die to an Ice Shard, a +2 Ice Shard. We'll see. Because surely he runs Ice Shard, as he doesn't. Or he didn't click it anyway. Which is nice. So GG, I think it's over. Yeah, so that wasn't Heavy Duty Boots. So it looks like this game could be over. I don't think... Mandibuzz can hide behind a Reflect. Sure. As they probably go for a foul play here, so I'm going to swap into Ttar, which does very little damage, and I can just click Ice Beam here. It kills the Grimmsnarl and the swap, and Mandibuzz doesn't like coming back into it, especially after the Stealth Rock chip. So GG. That was a decent game. I was worried about Mandibuzz and Urshifu, but it's good to know that Colossus does live the hits. And the Flame Body is super important. That's another reason I would use Colossus, because Flame Body can like burn the Caesar and the Bullet Punch, which is so invaluable for the rest of the game. So I'm going to pause till we find another game, and I will be right back. So I'm back, and it is against a Mono Psychic team. So right off the bat, I obviously know that Jirachi's going to give me trouble. Soul and Mew often runs Vacuum Wave sets, so I'm going to have to watch out for that. So I'm actually going to open up Rhyperior for the Mega Horn, which is quite nice in the early game, as they open up Hatterene. So I'm going to click Earthquake on this. Nothing like swapping into Earthquake, though I do expect a Trick Room to come out here. Though this can't 1 KO me unless it's the one like Energy Ball Hatterene in the game, as it did a lot of damage. So Rhyperior is definitely not as bulky on the special side as I expected. This is a vacuum wave set. I know it's vacuum wave. I think I fought this team before, and I don't necessarily want to sack my Rhyperior to this, but there's nothing that loves coming in on vacuum wave. Colossus can definitely take a hit. Shuckle I feel is my only play here, as it will force out the Mew, as they go for a Nasty Plot. I think I value Sticky Webs a lot in this game, as it allows Tyranitar to outspeed some of the mid-lane speed Pokemon. So I'm going to go for that while I force out the Mew. And that did like no damage to me, so it's really good to know how weak that was. And I swap into Tyranitar here on what could be an Expanding Force. Yes, it is. And I just win the game. So basically from this position, I just click Dark Pulse, I claim a KO, and I kind of just pivot in between Tyranitar and Shuckle from here. So that was a very quick game, so I'm going to go ahead and pause till we find another one. I'll be right back. So we're back with another game, and it is against another Psychic team. So hopefully this will go well, but immediately this team looks a lot more threatening. It has Bronzong, who threatens my team. It has Gallade, who's dangerous, and Gardevoir can be deadly in the late game. So we're going to see how this one goes. I expect them to open up with Bronzong, so I'm actually going to open up Colossus myself. As they open up Gallade, interesting. So after a Ttar shot, I definitely don't outspeed, but I'm going to Ttar shot anyway, and hope the close combat burns him. So Colossus is very bulky. It has 424 defense, which is a lot, as they go in Slowbro. So that's a good play because there's not much I can do from this position, and they can just click Scald on me. Though I do think they might swap out. There's nothing I particularly want to swap into. I can go Ttar, but if they teleport, it's bad for me, as I expect them to, as they go for a Scald, so actually the best possible position for me, and the burn doesn't particularly matter, as I am Specs. So I can just click a Dark Pulse here, which will nothing like swapping into Specs Dark Pulse. They do regen back the damage, as it actually KOs, so that's a big threat to my team Dawn, because it can wall out my team and just click Scalds in their face. Unfortunately, this does put him in a position where Gallade can come out and possibly Swords Dance. For the late game, I think I need Terrakion alive, as it can outspeed Indeedee, it can outspeed Scarf Gardevoir. And Lycanroc is nice too, just for the Accelerox. So if it gets to the point where I can lay down my Sticky Webs on Shuckle, it's good for me in the long run, as I just live the close combat. Unfortunately, I don't get the burn, but that's certainly banded. I can tell for sure. I'm going to click Flamethrower just to chip anything. If they do close combat again, hopefully they do get the burn from Flame Body. That would be ideal. But with that damage, I'm almost certain it is banded. So that's good knowledge to have. I'm actually going to Ttar Shot here, in case they swap into something like Scarf Gardevoir or Scarf Indeedee. It's nice to be able to have that at lower speed, as they do go Indeedee. So now, regardless if this is Specs or Scarf, if it's Specs actually and it clicks Dazzling Gleam, that's bad for me. But if it's Scarf, as it clicks Hyper Voice, that's okay, because Ttar can come in on Hyper Voice. And I don't outspeed, but they do swap into Gallade, which will give it the attack boost, which is actually not good for me, considering it got justified as well. So obviously I have to sack something here, and I think Rhyperior is the sack. Tyranitar is too good against Bronzong in the late game. Now I'm in the position where I can't, unfortunately, just click Accelerock because of Psychic Terrain. but they're in a position where they don't like Scarf Earthquake. So nothing particularly loves swapping into Scarf Earthquake. It should 2-hit KO Indeedee and Gardevoir. It KOs Gallade at the position he's in now. They might be Levitate Bronzong, which would be the best play for them to go into. So yeah, they go into Levitate Bronzong. And I go into Shuckle here. It doesn't look like they're going to be a Trick Room team, so it looks like it's going to be Body Press, which is definitely bad for me, but I can throw Sticky Webs down here to make sure they're slower than my Lycanroc. And if they Body Press, they get forced out anyway. So Bronzong's definitely going to be an issue for me. Good play throwing that down. I'm going to try Encore in case they want to Iron Defense more. If they Body Press, also good play. So I want to be in the position where Tyranitar is up against Bronzong. As they do Body Press, and it does very little damage to me, thankfully. And it forces in Gardevoir as they trace my Sturdy, which can actually be an issue, but I'm going to use this opportunity to throw down rocks. As they trick me, great play. Fantastic play there. So they're in the position where they can kind of just click Moonblast and claim a KO. I don't want to risk my Tyranitar or my Lycanroc, they're both a bit too valuable, I think, so I'm actually just going to sack my Shuckle. As with Scarf, it's useless. I almost want... Yeah, I'm going to swap into Lycanroc here, expecting them to maybe want to swap out. Yeah, as they go Zam. So if on the off chance they're Scarf Zam, they do outspeed me, but I don't think they're Scarf Zam when I've confirmed they're Scarf Gardevoir. And Stone Edge just does a lot of damage. So they're probably going to click counter here. Yeah, I get the KO. But it puts me in a position now where Terrakion can come back out. And unfortunately I feel like Close Combat's my best play because of Bronzong. And they can get in Gardevoir again. So if they go Bronzong, or they go Gardevoir here, I have to sack Shuckle. As they go Gardevoir. So I sack my Shuckle to the Moonblast, and Tyranitar can come out and click Dark Pulse, though I'm not sure if it kills Gardevoir, as it does have a decent special defense, as it actually outspeeds me. So that's GG, unfortunately, for me, as Bronzong completely walls the rest of my team. The best I can hope for is like infinite flinches on Iron Head, but even then I don't think it can kill Bronzong if it's leftovers. So I'm not sure how I could have played this. Maybe I should have had more speed on my Tyranitar to guarantee outspeeding things like Sticky Webs. But even then I don't think Specs Dark Pulse would have killed at the time. So Ironhead obviously gets the kill here. But here, as I said, I have to just infinitely flinch this, as one Iron Defense will end the game. So hypothetically it is possible if I got like 10 flinch crits in a row, I would win the game, but that's just completely impractical. So there's one. Come on, just 9 more and make them crits. So that's the thing with Pokemon, at times it's not impossible to win, but the odds are so infinitely small, it's just not probable. So I've accepted the fact this is probably a loss. So that's the end of the game. So the Gyro Ball killed me there, so that was a fun game. I think I'll leave it there. So I managed to win 2 as Rock, which is more than I could have hoped for, to be honest. That last team was very threatening. The Bronzong was a huge threat. The only way I could have really killed it is to use Specs Tyranitar, would have been my best bet. But I hope you enjoyed just a quick playthrough of Rock. It was a pretty short one today, I believe. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and I will hopefully have my next guide up very soon. So do follow me on Twitter and follow me on Twitch. I made a Discord, so they'll all be in the description of my channel above, so if you want to look at those. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.